Original Somsuji reaction. This is inside Qatar's 8 stunning FIFA World Cup 2022 stadiums by the channel $1 billion builds. Okay, in just under 6 months, the 2022 FIFA World Cup will get underway in Qatar. So this video is old. Oh, this video is just 3 week old. Didn't World Cup start already? Okay. This tournament is being held in the Middle East for the first time. Yeah, I know this, right? This was a big issue when it was announced, like the temperature, right? I mean, I'm an Indian and even I'm like, what the fuck, like 40 plus temperatures. Like even I can't take that, let alone lots of European teams that will be going there. So I don't know how they are going to get used to it. India is big cricket, country playing cricket, right? So I remember whenever Australians, England, British basically come here, they put white lotions or something. Like you can see, like they're putting on white paint or something. That's how it looks. That's how much they put it there because of the sun. So is that what's going to be similar in Qatar as well? People are going to be constantly walking around with lotions and God knows what. I don't know. But yeah, and also there was a issue with first of all the stadiums. We remember what happened in Brazil, right? Stadiums were built, then it was useless, like barely a parking lot. Nobody was using it, right? There was big protests and shit, lots of waste of money. That was just ridiculous. With the Qatar one, obviously, I don't know much. I'm pretty sure I saw the John Oliver piece where, the labor who makes this stadium, it was estimated that people are going to die a lot because of it, because how the labor works in Qatar. So that's just fucked up. So I don't know. There's many question marks there. How stadium's going to be used after it? 8 stadiums. So how is stadium's going to be used after that? So John Oliver did a whole FIFA series when he first started years ago and showed how fucked up FIFA works, how its system works, right? The organization FIFA. So I don't know how Qatar's going to work, but I hope they made some changes than Brazil one. I hope it's not a continuation of what happened in Brazil. So let's watch it.
In just under 6 months, the 2022 FIFA World Cup will get underway in Qatar. This tournament is being held in the Middle East for the first time, and Qatar has built 8 impressive mega stadiums to host this massive tournament. One of the stadiums is designed like a traditional Middle Eastern woven cap, another is made of shipping containers, and one venue has
Wait a minute, what?
Eastern woven cap. Another is
This is made of shipping containers.
Made of shipping containers, and one venue has infamously been likened to a woman's private parts. While they are striking in design.
In Middle East. Well, that's something. All right. First of all, I remember thinking, remembering the John Oliver video where they saw that any income that comes from this one goes to FIFA organization, something like, the country doesn't make that much money or something like that, right? So, and they have to build all the stadiums. So I hope that, Qatar actually, organizing this helps them somehow. I hope it does because money is not going to be the thing, right? I hope in long term somehow this helps them.
The 8 venues pose a logistical relief to the fans attending arguably the most controversial World Cup ever. Qatar is home to less than 3 million people, and it is the smallest country to ever host a World Cup. So the legacy of the tournament has to be managed carefully. If you add up the total costs, taking into account not only the cost of building new stadiums and renovating existing ones, but also all the money spent on infrastructure, this year's World Cup is by far the most expensive of all time. Qatar has reportedly amassed astronomical costs of around $220 billion. By contrast, the cost of the 2006 World Cup in Germany was only at a minuscule $4.3 billion. But it must be taken into account that the costs associated with the new stadiums in Qatar are only in the order of $7 to $10 billion.
You can't really compare it with Germany. Germany already had stadiums. Germany has an entire league, football league there.
The bulk of the spending is infrastructure-related costs, which are part of the broader Qatar 2030 plan.
Okay.
The stadiums are all situated within a 21-mile radius of central Doha and will be linked by a metro and tram system, making it possible to watch more than one game in the same day for any fan wishing to do so.
Okay.
With high summer temperatures, each stadium is equipped with solar-powered cooling technology to keep the temperature at 27 degrees Celsius.
What?
All stadiums are eco-friendly and their temperature will be controllable. The tournament organizers have pledged to
27,
build
alright.
stadiums with modular elements, which will be reconfigured after the tournament to provide a lasting legacy for the World Cup far beyond Qatar's borders. Only one stadium will be called home to a football team afterwards. One other stadium will be dismantled altogether, while 6 of the remaining venues will have half their seats taken up and sent to developing countries to help improve their sports infrastructure.
Alright.
With this step, as many as 22 new stadiums will be created in emerging economies. With all that said, now let's take a closer look at the 8 stadiums and their unique designs. Number 1. Lusail Stadium. The showpiece stadium for the tournament that will host the opening fixture and the final as well as other key matches is Lusail Stadium. This stadium was designed by Foster and Partners, and it can accommodate up to 80,000 spectators, which is the highest capacity out of all stadiums. Its design has been inspired by the Fanner lantern that is characterized by its interplay of light and shadow. Lusail's shape and facade echo the intricate decorative motifs on bowls and other vessels, characteristic of the golden age of art and craftsmanship in the Arab and Islamic world. The stadium was opened this year very much behind schedule, and it is 10 miles away from the Doha city center.
I like that they're taking inspiration from their own culture and implementing, not just making it more Western. That's where the problem rises, right? Taking technology from the West is a good thing, but you also have to put your cultural touch to it to make it more about where you are, right? So yeah, the golden age of Islam was around the year 1000 or 1080, how you want to say it, doesn't matter. I'll just say 1000. So yeah, taking inspiration from those kind of architecture is fucking awesome.
Enter. At the end of the tournament, most of the seats will be removed and donated to developing countries, as the new city of Lusail will not need its own football stadium after 2022. Number 2. Al Bayt Stadium. One of the larger stadiums, the Al Bayt Stadium will stage matches right through to the semifinals of the competition. It is set to host 9 matches, and will be the stage for the opening ceremony and opening match between hosts Qatar and Ecuador. This stadium has the second highest capacity, accommodating 60,000 spectators. The arena is designed to represent Arab hospitality, with the structure looking like a traditional Arab tent known as Bayt al-Shar. The stadium's design honors Qatar's past and present, while being a model of green development and sustainability. Because temperatures in Qatar can top 30 degrees Celsius even in November, it will also have a retractable roof to keep out the heat. Located 27 miles away from the city center, it is the furthest stadium from Doha, but fans not wanting to leave can stay in its plush 5-star hotel and experience the luxury amenities at its shopping center, which will be opened at the venue. Number 3. Al Janoub Stadium. The futuristic design of the Al Janoub Stadium is inspired by the sails of the dhow boats traditional to the country of Qatar and a nod to the coastal city's maritime heritage. It boasts a retractable roof and an innovative cooling system to ensure the ground can hold events all year round, even during the searing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the architectures are fucking awesome, right? Yeah, seriously, I mean, all the footballers who play this World Cup, every time they enter, they must be feeling like, holy shit, these gigantic billions of dollars worth stadiums were just built for this particular match. Because each stadium is going to hold, what, 6, 7, 8 matches? And after that, they're going to dismantle, 2 of them, just, give us seats and everything, right? Because clearly there is no football league in Qatar. So I never understood that. Why does a country who doesn't have that much in football, right? Who doesn't play football, doesn't have leagues of football, care about hosting World Cup? I understand the FIFA World Cup is the biggest sport there is in the world, but still.
Heat of the summer months. It was designed by the world-renowned late British-Iraqi architect Zaha Hadid. The funny thing about this stadium is when Hadid's design was first released and went viral, commentators suggested the stadium looked more like a woman's private parts. Al Janoub Stadium was the first of the World Cup stadiums to be completed back in the summer of May 2019, and it has a capacity of 40,000. Number 4. Stadium 974. In a first for the World Cup, this stadium has been made from 974 shipping containers and other modular steel elements, echoing the nearby port and the industrial history of the plot.
love this.
Due
This
to the
is
upcycled
epic.
materials used, the stadium can easily be dismantled after the tournament finishes.
What the hell?
The stadium's clever modular design meant that fewer normal building materials were required than in traditional stadium development, which helped keep construction costs down. Stadium 974 is the only waterfront venue with a spectacular view of the Doha skyline. The result is a distinctive, boldly colorful, and thoroughly modern arena. The concept of the stadium was designed by Fenwick Baron Architects. Number 5. Education City Stadium.
God damn, I love that. Seriously, they're just like, okay, we need to take the stadium apart. Why not make it out of shipping container? It will look unique. It will look awesome, and it kind of does. Imagine just going there. Oh, I'm gonna watch the fucking looking all these shipping containers, and it's a proper stadium.
This stadium is right inside the Qatar Foundation, just outside the center of Doha, which is well known around the world. Hosting 6 matches through to the quarterfinals, the Education City Stadium is set to become the home of the national women's team after the World Cup. The stadium takes the shape of a diamond and will be nicknamed the Diamond in the Desert as it is designed to glisten by day and glow at night. The facade of the stadium features triangles that form complex diamond-like geometrical patterns which appear to change color with the sun's movement across the sky. Like diamonds, the stadium's design represents quality, durability, and resilience, and will become something to be treasured, both for the memories it holds and its future value to the country. Number 6. Ahmed bin Ali Stadium.
So that's good. They gave it to a women's football team, right? Imagine them, right? Before that, not much of stadium or anything. Oh, look at that. FIFA World Cup we are hosting FIFA World Cup. Oh, that's awesome. By the way, you're going to get a stadium. Everybody with just a big ass smile there. Yeah, man.
This stadium, which also underwent a name change after initially being called the Al Rayyan Stadium, will host 7 matches up until the quarter-final stage and is meant to be a reflection of Qatari culture. The facade features intricate patterns representing the country of Qatar, from its wildlife to its history of trade. The ground is in proximity to the desert, so the hospitality areas and merchandise stalls outside the ground will be shaped to resemble sand dunes. Located in Al Rayyan, the stadium was built on the site of the old ground with the majority of construction materials reused to erect the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium. Number 7. Al Thumama Stadium. This stadium is inspired by the Gafia, a traditional woven cap worn by men across the Middle
makes
East,
sense.
and it's easy to see in pictures of the stadium. The Gafia forms a fundamental layer of the traditional clothing of the region. It is also a symbol of dignity and independence. This is the first World Cup venue to be designed by a Qatari architect, Ibrahim Al-Jaida. With a capacity of 40,000, the stadium will host a total of 8 matches during the World Cup. After the tournament, the stadium will halve its capacity, donating the seats to developing countries. The remaining 20,000-seat arena will be used for football and other sporting events. A sports clinic will open on site, as well as a boutique hotel, which will replace the stadium's upper stands. The precinct surrounding
See, that's the right. And first of all, just watching Qatar and how Qatar is so far, it tells me that it can be a place where rich spends their money, right? If you're gonna do that, it's a very good thing to keep a stadium basically for anything, right? You can host any match. They can even do the WWE events or something, right? How Saudis are doing. You can do many things. It would be good money spender basically, right? So this is a good way to reuse the stadium if you don't have a league.
surrounding the stadium will become a community hub with facilities for multiple sports. There will also be a number of
literal sports
retail
center.
and commercial units created to ensure the area becomes a bustling hub of exercise and activity. Number 8. Khalifa International Stadium.
Okay.
This was one of the only stadiums to have been opened before the World Cup was awarded to Qatar, with it initially built in 1976.
Okay.
It also hosted the Emir Cup final in May last year in front of 40,000 spectators. It has been the country's national stadium since it opened and has been extensively renovated to host the World Cup this year. In 2005, the stadium was renovated and expanded to serve as the centerpiece of the 2006 Asian Games hosted by Qatar. It has also hosted the Gulf Cup, the AFC Asian Cup, and the IAAF World Athletics Championships in 2019. The stadium, which includes sweeping arcs and partially covered stands, is the centerpiece of Aspire Zone, a sports complex that includes Aspire Academy for Sports Excellence and many other sporting venues. Attached to the stadium via a walkway is the 321 Qatar Olympic and Sports Museum, adding to the appreciation of how this venue cherishes its past as it builds towards an exciting future. Like any other mega construction project, these stadium projects have also undergone its share of criticism and controversy. The World Cup in Qatar has come under international criticism not only for its high cost, but above all for human rights violations.
That's what I was talking about there.
Thousands of workers have reportedly died due to dangerous working conditions while building the stadiums. Due to these allegations, there is an ongoing debate in many countries about whether or not to watch the World Cup. Recently, most big cities in France decided against broadcasting the games in public on big screens due to human rights violations and environmental impacts of the stadiums. Now that the tournament is just days away and Qatar is all prepped to host the games, it is highly unlikely that the decision to hold the games in Qatar will be reversed.
I don't think they are doing it to reverse it. The decision cannot be reversed. I think they are doing it to show the FIFA organization like they are not infallible, right? They are not like we can do whatever the fuck we want and everybody's gonna watch because it's football. Of course they're gonna watch. No, that's not the case. They're showing it like if you make unethical choices going forward, because this was the concern from the start. Even when Qatar wasn't even the one to host, right? It wasn't even decided. Right, this slave handling, whatever it's called, right, the whole thing, bad labor conditions, like I said in the start of the video, this has been an issue for many years now, right? And then it was announced and everybody's like, holy shit, and people are already predicting like lots of laborers are going to die. And that's just fucked up. Like, what I understand from the Qatar side of view is that they know all this criticism is happening much before even stadiums were being built, and they know that they are hosting this just as a PR thing, because it's not going to help them that much, right? Hosting FIFA World Cup doesn't help a country that much. It's all the PR thing, right? It puts you on the map because entire world watches football World Cup. So if you're going to do that for PR purposes, why not make sure that every labor safety is just handled right and nobody dies? I mean, nobody dies, it's not going to happen. It's a major project, but most don't die, right? Why would you continue your own ethical choices and make sure that everybody's in dangerous condition or something? People are watching. People are going to be concerned with this. So that point I don't understand. But okay. Right, well, that was inside Qatar's 8th stunning FIFA World Cup 2020 stadium. They are stunning. Holy shit. Did not see that coming. But yeah, they are stunning. And I like that they are just going to keep continuing use and not just dismantle all of it, right? Or just make it into parking lot. So that's good. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.